Personally, I'm okay, considering both shield slams are gone and one execute is down, going for the Dark Bomb and maybe even going for the Rag.
I think you're right, we probably will see Rag here. Yep, there it is.
Alright.
Yep.
I mean, the big news is all that armor is now gone. Even without the shield slams, it's a hassle to chip through all of that, but...
Right. Alright. Now things have gotten real for Palmblad, but there's Sylvanas.
you can't play it and brawl, but you can put it down. That's a pretty big threat. Yeah. Now there is an owl.
I was going to say until it gets silenced. Yeah, this is going to get silenced so fast, man.
Oh man.
Wah wah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Well, I mean, he really didn't have any other play that turn.
Yeah.
It's a good play as long as they don't have an owl. Unfortunately for Palmblad, though, Seulsiho does have that Iron Beak Owl in his hand, so...
Yeah, Palmblad...
That's going to probably fly out of there pretty quick.
I mean, because he didn't have any other cards other than Gromash, he's going for the greedy play here with the Brawl, but...
Very greedy. Seulsiho's still got the ability to play that Mountain Giant as well, too.
Yeah.
But again, Brawl. Brawl is the tricky part of all this. He's like, all right, if I can get him to use a Brawl when I've got just 2 minions out to try to get rid of Ragnaros, that's amazing.
That's true. Because even with the silence, if you keep that Sylvanas alive, Palmblad's going to be tempted to Brawl. You know, in case that his comes back even without the Death Rattle, because that'd be pretty good for him.
Yeah, he has to do something about that, Ragnaros. But the tricky part is that even if he draws into an Execute, he really doesn't have a way to damage it.
Yeah, not right now with the taunt from Seulsiho Sylvanas.
Yeah.
You'd have to kill it and then weapon and take 8 to the basic to get that damage.
Yep, just keeping that Rag as safe as possible.
Does he kill it? Because it still lives?
Could. I don't know if it's totally necessary.
Yeah, I think you just go face.
Well, he did. And where's Rag going to go? Again to face.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
Well,
yep. There's the Execute, but no way to really proc it because he can't get through. Well, okay, so he could. Oh, boy. If you want to do this, yeah, Brawl is the only option.
Just going to go for it.
Otherwise, you'd have to take like 8 to face to hit with a weapon.
Oh, man.
He's going to survive. Rag's not. It's going to be the Defender of Argus. Wow.
Okay, not the worst.
Shield's OP.
Yeah. All right. Well, Palmblad now needs to start making things happen, but he still doesn't have a lot to finish the game, just that Gromash.
Yeah, meanwhile, we've got Mountain Giant, we've got Thorazin. So many options for Seulsiho. I mean, like Mountain Giant, Sludge Belcher is probably just going to lock up the game if he wants to do that.
Yeah, I think that's the safest. You just saw the Brawl come out. You're usually not running 2 Brawls unless it's to like climb ladder against Sue or something like that.
Yeah. What do you do here, man? I mean, the answer is pretty much nothing. Now he can clear the Sludge Belcher, he can execute the Mountain Giant, and he can still play Ysera with only a 1-2 on the board. And that's kind of your only play at this point, I think.
That's true. I mean, if Ysera lives for a long time, you could get some crazy cards here.
Yep. He's low, but what else do? You know, you have to go for it.
Yeah, well now also you don't have an activator for Gromash, so...
Yeah. Well, one Taskmaster, I think, in his deck left.
Well, you have some, you have it in your deck, but... Okay. All right, the Dream is actually not bad.
The Dream.
But Dream is not bad against Handlock.
Yeah, you can only send back one creature with it, though.
True. Yeah. Whoa, what is going on here? There's Emperor Thorazin.
Wow, and he's leading a group of trees, it looks like.
Yeah, I guess.
Malfurion's having a good time. He's like, I'm making this so easy, aren't I? Malfurion's like, yeah, man, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Seulsiho, I think you life tap first to see what you can get.
He certainly can. He's still got that.
Oh, okay.
You still get the antique heal bot as well, too.
Oh, he doesn't have any more hard removal because he doesn't have another owl and he doesn't have Siphon Soul.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Thorazin I agree with. I wasn't sure if he had something else he might be fishing for, but...
I like putting Thorazin 1 health outside of Ysera Awakens, too, there with the Defender of Argus.
Yeah.
Just makes it a little bit harder to kill.
Well...
Wow, that's a cool drawing.
Yeah, that's
good.
Thorazin.
Wow. Nice.
Very well drawn.
Looks like a Freemason symbol on his hammer, though.
So
something you're not telling us, Thorson.
Send Thorson back with your dream. Get your axe out. Oh,
yep.
or okay, and then activate it through the okay.
Yeah, get some armor.
All right. All right, so you're challenging Seulsiho. You're like, all right, do you really have any more removal? Because I bet you don't. Which we saw he doesn't. He doesn't have that Siphon Soul. He doesn't have that Owl.
He doesn't have enough mana to play Shadow Flame onto Molten Giant, but he can do it. He can do it onto a Big Game Hunter if he wants to.
Okay, well, yeah, he can Big Game Hunter that. So,
Well,
so I think, yeah, you got to Big Game Hunter the Grommash. I think.
You Big Game into Thorson again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can see that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, okay, well. Huh. I think he's still down Thorson, yeah. The Drake will have enough health the next turn.
Yep.
Okay. Laughing Sister's not so great. Not so hot right now.
No. Yeah, they're pretty much the worst card that comes out of Ysera. All right, well, a little bit more draw potentially for Palmblad, but he's so low already.
Yeah, he's only at 11 health.
Let's go for it. Armor up. Whoa.
Okay.
All right.
7.
Yeah.
Gotta clear that Thorson, I imagine.
Yep.
There you go. All right. Well, he got some extra armor back from the armor smith. What's he gonna get this time? Another Laughing Sister. No.
That does not help.
Oh man.
He's like, oh, you again.
Well,
all right.
You can clear the board now for Seulsiho, and with only 2 cards in Palmblad's hand, I wonder if it's. Well, I guess then you can't play anything else, so it's a little iffy. Well, you could Twilight Drake, and then you could. Oh, okay. Well,
if Thorson had lived, that would have been lethal.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is still.
Yeah, better play it safe.
Yeah, you have so many other safeguards here in your hand already.
And he draws into another Acolyte of Pain. Nice.
Oh, well, okay.
Shield Block's a great draw, though. That is really nice to see for Palmblad.
Oh, okay.
There's Gorehowl. Okay, we're not done yet here.
All right.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you just...
I think now you just have to start hitting.
You think you just swing to face when you've already seen one Molten Giant come down?
Yeah,
You've already seen the defender? I agree, but he's going to play it safely.
Okay, well, what else does Palmblad have here that can finish the game? Does he have anything else, or is it just Gorehowl?
It's really just Gorehowl, because he's already used Grommash.
Yeah.
And maybe he has Ragnaros in this deck. That is possible.
Right, okay. That's a possibility here. Yeah. Oh man, is the heal bot going to come out? Because that...
Oh, of course.
Well, we're looking at it. We have Geddon, we have the Dr. Boom still here for Palmblad,
okay.
and that's it. So, well, he has Shield Maidens, so he has still some, like, beefy minions.
He also has Black Knight, which could end up very handy.
Yeah, Black Knight and Big Game Hunter.
Yep.
All right, but no, like, one-card finishers here.
Yep, might as well go for the draw here.
Yeah, if you can get that Big Game Hunter now, that'd be so
huge.
Golden.
Oh man, what's he gonna draw? It is. Armor Smith.
Man.
Oh jeez.
Well, yeah, you can kill the heal bot with the Acolyte.
He can still run the Acolyte into something and draw again.
Yeah, or you could even run into the Molten and then see if you can kill with Gorehowl and take that damage, but armor back up.
Might as well play the Armor Smith before you run anything in, though, just to get a little bit more.
Right, because your greatest card you're looking for right now is BGH, which is only 3 mana.
Yeah, he doesn't have a ton of cards left in his deck. I'd say you run it in first because at least you want to give yourself the chance to draw Shield Maiden.
Okay.
Black Knight, normally so good against Handlock, but just not in this case.
Well, he's at 16.
16 with 12 damage on the board.
So Seulsiho has lethal with the Hellfire and the Dark Bob.
Yeah. Palmblad's trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not a whole lot you can do. He's probably going to Gorehowl the Twilight Drake, but
okay.
Maybe the Molten Giant Swell.
Okay, yeah. But he didn't armor up.
Nope, you can't.
So that's game.
That is game, yeah. 4 damage plus the Hellfire plus the Dark Bomb should do it. And Seulsiho is going to go up 2-1 in this series.
Wow.
No win for the Warrior just yet. That's a tough matchup for Control Warrior, but
yeah,
I think Palmblad played it as well as he could.
You know, some could argue that maybe he was a little greedy with his brawl, but what could you do at that point? Your hand was filled with weapons. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I think he had to use the brawl when he used it.
I think he had to wait, and he got decent value out of it.
Yeah, he did.
You know, he cleared 2 big minions, left to only the 2-3 on board. But in the end, Seulsiho also playing very patiently, not rushing with any, putting down minions unnecessarily, expecting the brawl, really, I think, coming out from Palmblad. So he will lead 2-1.
Yep. For Thorzen coming through there as well.
That's true. Thorzen doing some good work for Seulsiho. And now maybe we'll see a Shaman finally.
Maybe. That would be awesome.
Shaman or possibly the Mage could come out now.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of mage it is, too. We saw Palmblad bring that aggro mage last week.
I mean, aggro mage, tempo mage, freeze mage, all sorts of mages coming out these days with the newer cards.
Earlier this week, I guess it was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's been less than a week, actually, since the semifinals.
That's true. Well, we will see in just a moment if Palmblad can tie things up against Seulsiho, or if we're going to see Seulsiho put himself 1 game away from taking the championship.
Yeah, Palmblad still has Warlock left, his Warrior left, and then the Rogue that we haven't seen, most likely any variation of Oil Rogue, though. So both players are ready to play set number 4. Seulsiho leading 2-1. Very interested to see what both players bring out. I mean, we've praised Palmblad for looking at the bigger picture, for looking at kind of how the overall match plays out, what deck choices matter, but can he make that difference here in the grand finals, going for that title of the best Hearthstone player in Korea in Season 1? I think it's time to find out if he can take 1 step closer, Doa, as he knocks us for it. All right, set number 4. Let's jump right into it.
All right, Mage versus Rogue is going to be our game number 4 here.
What kind of Mage do we have? Oh, pretty sure it's Mech Mage.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely Mech Mage.
Okay, well.
A pretty good hand, though, starting out for Palmblad.
Yeah, but this is a pretty really solid hand for Seulsiho, too.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, he wants to go for a little bit something earlier, because that... Yeah, the Mech Warper can get taken out pretty early, so I think that's all right.
I'm a bit surprised about the Spider Tank.
Yeah.
But the Goblin Blast Mage, you're probably not going to want in your opening hand. He's still thinking about it, though.
I mean, especially against a Rogue, you might want just maybe a beefier minion on board.
Okay, you will throw back the Spider Tank. All right.
All right.
It's okay. If a mech lives, then he'll be in pretty good shape.
True.
But yeah, it can get a little bit difficult, of course, early on with all the removal that Rogue has in the early turns, and Palmblad has all of it in his hand.
Yeah, things are looking pretty good for him.
Yeah, he literally has all of the best early removal. He's got Backstab, Deadly Poison, and SI7 Agent.
Yeah.
Dr. Wily, someone warn Mega Man.
All right, well, I'd say you just leave it for now.
Yeah.
Because you want to try to combo your backstab with your SI7 Agent.
Oh yeah, definitely. Make a weapon. You've got Deadly Poison in your hand.
Yeah. Just draw a little dagger.
Yeah, the tricky thing is, of course, Mech Mage has that ability to sort of get out of control fast.
Very fast, given how things are looking so far.
That's a little bit of an awkward hand. I mean, with two Mech Warpers, I guess you just play one of them here.
You could. Or, I was wondering, maybe... Well, I guess if you're running only 2 Mirror Entries, you wouldn't put down that second Mad Scientist. So.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be able to do that. Ooh, prep. All right. Well, I'd say you've got fairly decent turn here. You can still clear.
Yeah, you can just backstab SI7 and hit with face, the weapon.
Yep.
I think that's best. I mean, you could... Yeah, I mean, because you can Deadly Poison and backstab, but I'd rather put another minion on board so you can counter whatever comes out again, because it's 3 attack. It takes care of a lot of mechs.
Yeah. Now, here's the question, though. Because you're going to be clearing the Mad Scientist, do you do it in a way that gives him a 3-3, or do you do it in a way that saves that secret for later? Because there's really not a lot of great stuff that Rogue can give Mage beyond that 3-3, you know? So if you're going to give him a minion, you probably just want to use it right away, even though it does put him in kind of an awkward board spot. But yeah, he will backstab first.
No, I think you go for the Warper, personally.
So you would rather give him like an Azure Drake later?
You know? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's what I'm thinking, is that
all right,
at least this way you can try to look for a chance where you can get rid of whatever you give. No, he still went for the...
I think this is the better way to go, because what you can do is you can still use Deadly Poison to clear that 3-3 if he doesn't trade with you anyway. So it's a good way to just play around the secret.
Fair. I mean, yeah, you do have the Deadly Poison, so you can still get rid of it the next turn.
Yeah, with the stuff that's in his deck. I think it's a good plan. Piloted Sky Golem. Going all the way up to the 6 mana.
Yeah, the Sky Golem's been showing up a lot more often these days in various decks. A lot of mid-range decks.
They handed out like little bar snack food to everyone here.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Sadly, no ale. Oh, well. Maybe next season.
Maybe next season.
Probably not.
Well, especially if our broadcast is at this hour, probably not.
Yeah. Is there 9 p.m. though? That's a good time to
That's very true.
Have a mug of ale.
Enjoying the snacks.
That's right. So 3 mana here. The Mech Warper's not really going to get you anything. But it's a pretty uninspiring turn overall, too. You might as well just play that second Mad Scientist. Then the question is, do you trade? Wow, if he goes for this Mech Warper. I mean, it doesn't even let you play the Sky Golem next turn.
Oh, man, just putting it down?
Well, it's a way to get a body on the board, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, he's just going to go for it.
Yep.
All right. It's not the worst. You do miss out on quite a bit, though. You miss out on 2 stats and a spare part.
Some decent options here. Yeah, remake your weapon and then just kill with Deadly Poison.
Yeah, and then next turn you'll get that Azure Drake and hopefully start drawing some cards.
Having the Azure Drake into Prep Fan of Knives, too, is pretty nice to be able to do 2 damage across everything.
Ooh, yeah.
That might come in handy later, yeah.
Alright, so this is still iffy for Seulsiho, because...
Drink from the Shining Goblet.
This is one of the rare cases where Mech Mage... The reason Mech Mage was so good is because your cards combo with each other so well in so many different ways, but when you don't have a single mech on the board, suddenly all of that goes through.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird game for Seulsiho in that he's just not finding any of that typical Mech Mage synergy, and that would actually kill the Blast Mage if he prepped into it, but I think that'd be overreaching a bit.
Yeah, I think... Well,
actually...
Because keeping your Azure Drake alive is pretty good.
4 damage to face is not bad either.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, if Seulsiho suddenly has mechs that he can just flood the board with, then he would trade with the Azure Drake even if it's a 5-4, in my opinion, because of the spell power. So I think you get rid of that to ensure that you have another Blade Flurry, and another Fan of Knives with that spell power.
Probably doesn't feel too good, but...
Not the greatest. You did have to use one prep. Yeah. That's the biggest part here, not the Blade Flurry, but the prep. You have the Fireball.
Yep, I'm just going to assume Fireball that Azure Drake.
This is one of the slower Mech Mages matches I've ever seen.
It really is. All right, another prep.
Yeah, you just got to draw now. Okay.
Yeah, might as well get something else on the board, too. Do a little bit of damage.
I would say, although he doesn't have too many cards, I mean, as soon as he draws a sprint, Palmblad could really turn things around here. Seulsiho has lost out on a lot of the early tempo that Mech Mage takes advantage of.
It's true.
Oh, man, really?
He's got a bit of a board going. How much damage is this going to do?
Nope.
Oh, not enough. Wow. All 4
man.
right to the face.
Oh, wow.
I mean, when you think about it, every one of those bolts is just a 50-50.
That's true.
Yep, well, I'm just going to prep into Tinker Sharp Sword Oil with this one. And that's going to be a ton of damage in onto Seulsiho here.
Wow!
Whoa, he's going to go for it even more.
Yeah, because if you attack now, all you need to do is Blade Flurry.
Wow.
If he draws...
Well, you need to Blade Flurry and then attack him with a weapon, but...
Yeah, so you could still get frozen, but if you draw Spell Power... It's game over. Game over in multiple ways. But here's the thing, you gotta kill that SI7 agent too.
Yeah. All right. Well, Palmblad, he's just counting on drawing into an Eviscerate or something like that, perhaps.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he has many other spells that he could try to make this work with.
He's got a couple.
Yeah, there are a lot of choices, but he won't get too many turns. In fact, maybe only just one more.
Yep, he needs that Eviscerate, or the South Sea Deckhand would be fine,
Or the South Sea Deckhand.
Or Thalnos.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few options. Or a second Azure Drake. What's it going to be?
Oh, there's the Eviscerate! And so, we will be all tied up once again as Palmblad takes it with the Oil Rogue.
Oh, look at that. Look at what came up from the Shredder.
Yeah.
Dude, Mom Shaman.
Jeez, that's scary.
Wow. Oil Rogue strikes again.
Yeah, came down to the wire, but Oil Rogue doing its job, and we are all tied up 2-2.
Very well played by Palmblad.
Yeah.
Again, knowing when to play to win. Not just play to survive. Well, we've definitely got a match in our hands now, Doa.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Tied 2-2. We will be taking another commercial break, give these players a little bit chance to maybe get some fresh air, go to the bathroom and whatnot, and be able to focus fully for set number 5. But tied 2-2.
I'm not sure if she's okay. She's happy, or not? I have no idea.
I do believe
I don't know what's going on.
She's friends with Palmblad here, so cheering him on. Or maybe family, but I believe friends. So, Seulsiho doesn't look too pleased. I mean, it was a rough game for Mech Mage. You thought you had a good hand, and then it went really went south really fast.
Well, like we talked about, he just didn't get that synergy, and he's got another chance to win it with that deck. It's still good. We'll see if he can do it when we come back.
Welcome back, everyone, to Hearthstone Masters Korea Season 1. We're pretty much halfway through the grand finals right now and tied 2-2.
Yep, that's right. Seulsiho getting the handlock versus control warrior matchup, and in the end, Palmblad just didn't quite have what it took to hold on.
Yeah, a 6 shield slam draw here.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough to keep him in the long run. Tried to hold on to his brawl for a good clear, and he did get the clear he wanted, but he was already so low at that point.
It was a good brawl, but ultimately he didn't get as much as he wanted to out of it, and Seulsiho was like, yeah, I got this. In the end, even Ysera couldn't save him.
Yeah, got the execute. I mean, Palmblad had the removal. It's just a turn too late each time. Already took the damage from the minions once each, and when it's Giants and Sylvanas that do that damage, it adds up even if it's only once.
Oh, yeah, it's a decent way to describe that for sure, and Palmblad played that matchup well. I think actually both of these guys have been playing really well so far this match.
Yeah, I mean, both of them basically winning the game when they really, obviously should, and also trying to stay in it when they possibly had the, losing hand there.
Yeah, and then we had the Mech Mage game from Seulsiho against Palmblad, and what do you do when you just don't draw any of that synergy from Mech Mage, and you had that kind of unlucky moment where the Blast Mage hit face 4 times in a row instead of hitting the minions at all, and kind of needed it right here. He kind of needed it to clear this minion, but it did the opposite.
It was rough.
Yeah.
Because then double oil and a massive minion, a massive dagger, and then there's the Eviscerate to finish, to get that set 4 and tie it up 2-2. But as I was saying, I mean, this is where, both players are playing so well because they're winning the matches they absolutely should, which means they're not making any mistakes. So that's pretty crazy. But there's, of course, the quiz. It's still the same question. So if you haven't had a chance to go answer it, go over to the Global OGN page on Facebook or here on this site. You can just go to the page and you'll find a little event section there. And then you can submit your answer, possibly get some gift cards through that, and then you can buy more packs.
True enough. Well, now we get to find out who moves to 1 game away from being our champion for Season 1 of Korea Hearthstone Masters.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting stuff. And Shaman Mage still available for Seulsiho. Warlock Warrior still available for Palmblad. Some interesting matchups in there as well.
Yeah, I wonder. I think Seulsiho might still just go for the Mage once again. I think, you look at the last time your cards, you're just like, well, I just didn't get the synergy. It's all right. If I get it, I can still overpower these decks pretty fast early on. We'll see what he chooses to, and also what Palmblad comes up with in set number 5 of the grand finals of Hearthstone Masters Korea Season 1.
Shaman versus the Warrior. Okay, and Shaman versus Warrior is traditionally a pretty good matchup for Shaman, so
fair enough.
We'll see.
And we are looking at, wow, Feral Spirit's not a card we see too often these days in the game overall, but it is going to be kind of the mid-range control type here, not the Mech Shaman.
I really wonder what he's running in this. And I refuse to look at the deck list. I want to be surprised. But
yeah,
certainly do keep that Feral Spirit early on. And not a bad starting hand for Palmblad as well.
Okay, not a bad hand at all here for Seulsiho. But it is interesting because what has told Seulsiho that he should bring a Shaman? Because not too much has changed. Is he running maybe the Fire Guard Destroyers? That's kind of the big question.
Honestly, I feel like a big reason is because he had a pretty good idea that Palmblad is bringing Warrior.
Fair enough.
We saw Palmblad, talk to Seulsiho earlier today when they revealed the classes to each of these guys. Palmblad was like, oh man, why did you bring Shaman? I think this is his primary concern. If he can get a win here, I think Palmblad can win the series. And the other way goes for Seulsiho as well, too.
Quite possibly. We'll see. Both players have a pretty decent starting hand. Of course, Palmblad needs to start drawing into some other things here very quickly.
All right, unbounces. Looking like a fairly standard mid-range Shaman at this point.
Okay.
Well, if you play that Elemental, it's probably just going to get killed.
Right, but at the same time, if you play Feral Spirits on turn 3, you have not a very good play the next turn. I mean, you have the Flame Tongue Totem this time, but
the Mana Tide Totem is only going to get you 1 drop before it gets cleared as well, too. So just not a lot of great options. I think Feral Spirits is going to be the way to go, just because this is what's going to promote the most trading from your opponent.
Yes.
And so it's your best way to get back a bit of board control.
Oh, wow. Look at Palmblad. He gets all excited. He's like, all right, well, wow. Well, that completely shuts down the turn 4 play from Seulsiho, where he'll only have 2 mana. Flame Totem is going to be pretty useless in that case.
Yeah, it sure is. And unfortunately for Seulsiho, you know, all he can really do is make a totem.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice draw by Palmblad. And here's where you just kind of make your totem. Yep.
Yeah, the overload comes to bite you back. Next time at Flurry, looking at their opponents from the semifinals, duking it out in the grand final stage, or on the stage rather.
Yeah, Hearthstone communities around the world are pretty fun because everyone's fairly close. You know, they're not that big yet. Everyone knows each other. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, very tight-knit community.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Especially here in Korea. A lot of these guys used to be on the same team, too. So.
Yeah, most of the best players in Korea coming out from Team Golden Coin.
Okay. So Sludge Belcher leaves your turn 6 open for a possible Fire Elemental if you draw it. You can also get down that Unbound and play something with Overload. That's true.
All right. Yeah, execute. Pretty great here. Not going to have too many other targets. Also, because you have that BGH in hand, so you'll take care of the Dr. Boom coming out most likely on turn 7.
Or the Earth Elemental.
Or the Earth Elemental.
I don't think we're going to see Earth Elemental.
Yeah, well, most likely not. I think this is actually just pretty much kind of the old decks that we used to see all the time with the addition of Dr. Boom post GVG. I'm not even sure if he'd be running Lava Shock here.
Yeah, you know, we haven't seen Lava Shock in as many decks as I thought we would, and even then it's usually only one now.
Yeah.
It is a very situational card, so I suppose that shouldn't be all that surprising, but yeah, I doubt we're going to see it in this deck. This looks like very straight up old school, you know, mid-rangey sort of Shaman. Very old school in that we haven't seen the Unbound Elementals for quite a while, but it's going to be that and Feral Spirits this turn.
Yeah, well, you're like, okay, well, last time he drew an X, but this time surely he won't.
Surely.
We'll see.
Aww. Well, Armorsmith is a pretty good draw too, though.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
You also have the Sylvanas.
Yeah.
Obviously, an excellent Hex target, so then your question is, do you want to draw that out now or later? Oh, and we have people visiting from Blizzard HQ.
Nice.
Pretty awesome. The Marine saying welcome. Doing his...
Showing off his English skills. It's pretty sick. And okay. Well, where's that Hex?
Yeah,
where's that Earth Shock,
Hex.
man? You need one of those things, and he's overloaded, so he can't play Dr. Boom this turn.
Yeah. So Shaman too weak.
Is it? Is it really?
Well,
I don't know if I agree with that fan, Shobra.
You know, I can see why a lot of fans would think so, though, because it's very hard to play. I think that's the thing.
That's also true, and it's maybe not the strongest class on the ladder right now as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of see it in a similar place as Priest, where, you know, they may not have the best ladder decks. We may not see them in tournament too much, but I think a lot of that is because they're very tricky, and they have a lot of different nuances, where certain cases they can be one of the strongest classes.
Yeah. There's your shock. Okay, well,
you'll have it still. He can't... He can't kill... he can't kill it himself. Palmblad can't kill it himself.
Well, at least he can gain a little bit more armor here, and the armor gain is pretty crucial against Shaman, just like it is against many other classes.
Yeah. Well, he already armored up, so... Just gonna... Well, I guess you would only take 2 to face anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Yep.
Wow.
He really wants to clear that Unbound Elemental. I can't argue.
But you can't get through just
can't,
yet.
though. Yeah, you're right.
But clearing everything he can in the way so that he can prep.
It gets you closer, yeah.
For it the next turn.
Well, easy clear on the Armorsmith if he chooses to.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Seulsiho as Thrall.
Yeah, Seulsiho as a Shaman, actually, because Shaman is Chusursa and he is Seulsiho, so trying to combine them as a...
Thrall-Shiho. That's what I would call him.
Thrall-Shiho.
Yeah. Thrall's a Shaman, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah, you said Thrall. Okay, yeah, I was just realizing, when you said Thrall again, I was like, oh wait, you did say Thrall.
Wow, well, there's your shock. Yep. That'll do it.
Yeah, pretty easy. You still get another draw from your Mana Tide, so...
It's getting a lot of cards from this Mana Tide totem.
Yeah, I mean, if once you get your cards are so valuable. Ooh, okay.
Not the
greatest board to brawl.
Not the greatest brawl, no. I mean, you can clear the Manatide Totem this turn at least.
Yeah. Oh man, Palmblad so short on cards right now.
He's gonna have Ysera next turn, which is gonna be nice though.
Yeah. No Hex yet. Oh, but there it is.
Yep, there's the Hex.
Oh man.
Probably aren't gonna use it on the Armor Smith, but it will be nice once that Ysera hits the board.
Oh boy, that's gonna be hard to take for Palmblad. His heart will be broken.
Oh, you make it sound really sad when you say that.
It is pretty sad, man. You only have 3 cards, you put down your Ysera and it turns into a frog. When you're like, come dragon, and it comes flying and breathing fire, and suddenly it's like, ribbit, ribbit, and it just sits there.
It's the power of Shaman.
Yeah.
You know, Hex was a spell that was added later on in World of Warcraft for Shaman.
Oh, really?
They didn't have it at first, yeah.
Huh.
I'm trying to remember if it was Burning Crusade or Wrath of the Lich King that they added that, but yeah.
Interesting.
They decided that another class besides Mage needed a polymorph, I guess.
Pretty much just achieves the same thing here.
Well, what are we going to see? It's got some options. If you play Dr. Boom, that's pretty much a huge target for Brawl.
Yeah, Seulsiho really trying to play around that. He knows the Brawl is there. Oh, but... Oh, wow, okay.
Here we go. And you have to kill the Armor Smith because we know Armor Smith always survives Brawl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is that even if he does Brawl, something obviously is going to survive. You know, you're probably going to have 2 Spider tokens. You're going to take damage from 2 of the Boombots, which is going to remove, you know, most of your armor, probably. So it's a bit risky.
Well, okay, yeah, you can Big Game Hunter and then Brawl or Shield Maiden. Okay. Still trying to save that Brawl because of the Spiders and the Boombots.
Yeah, again, it's just not the strongest Brawl. Oh, wow.
Oh, boy, okay.
There is Alec here, and he's got 1 Rock Biter. Doesn't have lethal yet, but that's pretty dangerous moving forward here.
Yeah, 19 damage on board with the Alakir Rock Biter combo.
Yep, and he's also got a chance to put down a couple of these Flame Tongue totems. And if he can get a big Flame Tongue combo with that, he can do a ton of damage.
Huh. Oh man,
wow.
A 5 damage Boombot. That is...
Oh, all right.
Well,
all right.
Still get a pretty easy clear.
Yeah, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage here.
All right, he can start chipping down.
Yeah, nearly clears out all that armor.
Huh.
So what is the damage on that Alec here then? Okay, let's do some math.
12 plus 13, 25.
That's a lot.
What?
So 25 plus... Is that... Yeah, I believe that is lethal. 25 plus 9 minimum. He's got Nightmare. That's not going to help him. This looks like a game going to Seulsiho. Just has to put down that Alakir between those 2 Flame Tongue totems.
Yep, the Flame Tongue totem will add more damage to Alakir. He has 12 in hand.
He doesn't even need to actually attack with everything on the board, too, does he? He's got overlethal.
I think so. Yeah, there you go. Attack with the totem first.
Yep.
Oh, man. Look at that. 10.
Here it comes. And so that is more than enough damage to take down Palmblad. Palmblad just shaking his head. You know what do? Save that Brawl, and in the end, that was just what Seulsiho needed to put himself 1 game away from taking the first season of Hearthstone Korea Masters.
You know, I think he's in a very good spot. His last deck, Mech Mage, it's pretty versatile.
Yep.
It's one of those decks, again, like most aggressive decks, that really does have a chance to take games off any class. I mean, it does have some harder matchups, but the reason it works a little better is it's a little bit more tempo-based. You know, it's like the new Zoo. It's not Face Hunter, where if you don't get the right cards, you're completely done for the early phase of the game.
Right. Now, the tricky part is that Control Warrior certainly can handle Mech Mage, and Handlock certainly can as well, too. I mean, if you talk about the Handlock matchup, you start to hope for a situation where you can get that final damage with Antonitis and those fireballs. So, Seulsiho is still not out of the woods quite yet, but winning with that Shaman against the Warrior, he really did get the matchup he was looking for there, and got the win with the class he wanted to get the win with, and can he close it out with Mech Mage now?
Yeah, well, we talked about it earlier, Doa. It relies a lot on the Shaman. It got Seulsiho the win, so Seulsiho 1 game away, going into match point to be crowned the best Hearthstone player in Korea for Season 1 and going into Season 2.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Palmblad still has a chance to achieve that dream to walk the royal road here in Korea in his Hearthstone career.
Palmblad's had a great run up till now, but it could all be over in this next game. If Seulsiho's Mech Mage can triumph,
Deck choice mattering quite a bit for Palmblad, but like you said, both pretty similar. I mean, they have their pros and cons against the Mech Mage.
Well, he's got to win with both of them, so at this point it's a coin flip as far as what he uses.
That is
it's all
also
about the comfort.
Yeah, so set number 6, both players are ready. Let's jump into it. And it's going to be match point for Seulsiho, who's up 3-2.
And here we go. It's going to be Warlock, the choice for Palmblad to try to stay alive in the finals.
Palmblad's Warrior has not been doing well today, to be honest. I mean, he's had to use so many cards early, things getting drawn out, and he's just not getting enough draw with his Acolytes, really. And his shield block's actually not coming up early either. So it's been rough, so I kind of like the change of pace. Keeping one Molten, because you know that early damage is going to start rushing in from a Mech Mage.
Yeah. Now, we saw his Warlock lose to Druid earlier today. But it was one of those games where it's just, oh well, you got Malfurion. So we'll see what he can do this time. But
you know, I find it very interesting that Seulsiho...
It's a very strong start with the coin.
Yeah. You know, he's always sending back the Spider Tank, even when he has the coin. I find that a little bit interesting. But he does get the Snow Chugger.
If you don't have a Mech Warper in your hand, I can see it. But there was that one turn, or one game where he did have a Mech Warper.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit surprising. But either way, the game wants him to have it anyway.
Well, there's a Spider Tank. He does have both Mirror Entities in hand, so I'm not sure that Mad Scientist will do much for him. But wow. Cogmaster at a 3-2. It's so scary.
Yeah.
Well, you just gotta wait. The question is, yeah, you still tap for now, but you're gonna have to stop tapping pretty soon with all these minions on the board.
Yep. Okay, so he wants to clear with Hellfire next turn.
Okay. You won't get the draw, but...
Well, you get the board clear, which is pretty nice. And there's not a ton of 4 health minions or higher in the early few turns of Mech Mage, so you should be able to get a pretty good Hellfire. And yeah, Seulsiho knows this. It's telegraphed pretty hard when you see the Mortal Coil. It's like, oh, gee, I wonder.
I mean, but that's the best you can do, is that at least you also prevented him from playing minions, which means his mana is delayed.
Very true. Are you obligated to Hellfire now? It would actually take you down to 14 as well, too.
Yeah, you get pretty low, but at the same time, if you don't, you take 6 more damage.
See, Look Sam and Flurry figuring it out themselves as well, too.
Yeah.
Our 2 players from the semifinals who didn't quite make it.
Yeah, Look Sam playing against Palmblad and Seulsiho versus Flurry.
Yep. Our top 4 players overall. Man, those guys were really good.
Oh, and just for a note for those watching, in case you haven't heard, those 2 players plus the finalists right now. So the top 4 players will be playing a global special match against some of the top players from the West. We've got Orange coming over. Well, not coming over. We're playing it online. But Orange, Life Coach, Strife Pro, and Savitz.
Yep.
Competing against the top 4 Korean players. Kind of a regional battle. It's going to be interesting. That will be happening on May 18th and 19th, so stay tuned for more details for that.
It's going to be a lot of fun, too. I think Korea is really developing into a good region, so I'm curious to see how they'll match up against some of the best from elsewhere.
Yeah, it should be quite the spectacle.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, he went for the Hellfire. The board is clear for now. But 4 mana, I'd say just drop both of these guys. You know, even if you do have, no real secret benefit from the Mad Scientist, at least it's a body on the board, right?
Yeah, you might as well. And you have that Mirror Entity on, so in some ways, if Palmblad thinks too hard, that could be a little bit more mind games for him. Like, oh, does he have another, different secret in Mech Mage? Is he running that counterspell? Is he running that duplicate?
I think he's going to pretty much assume it's going to be Mirror Entity, which makes me think we're going to see an Antique Healbot this turn. Better to give him the 3-3, heal up a little bit, give yourself a bit of breathing room.
I mean,
any other creature you give him, you're going to be regretting it pretty hard.
Yeah. I think the Antique Healbot is the way to go.
We'll see what Palmblad decides. Yep. I think that's a pretty easy play there.
All right, so give us him a 3-3.
Better than giving him a 4-7 or a 8-8 or whatever else you're gonna give him. Yeah. Wow, right into the piloted Shredder. This is starting to look Very, very good for Seulsiho.
Yeah, again, this is what Mech does well. It wasn't even like a dream opening, right? You had both of your secrets in hand.
Yeah.
You didn't have the Mech Warper. You didn't exactly flood the board early, but you can
Pretty
still,
solid.
basically your mana curve smooths out so well.
Well, the Cogmaster really helps work through any problems you might have.
Yeah, I mean, if you can buff the damage with a Mech on the board, it's absolutely beautiful for a one drop.
So you are pretty compelled to clear here because you don't want him to Shadow Flame his 3/3. I mean, you can always play something else next turn and do it anyway, but might as well stay safe, and he's going to keep his largest minions alive.
Okay, very smart.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't have another secret, but that's fine. He already put it up from his hand. Palmblad should know what it is coming up.
Yeah. And I like saving the Piloted Shredder as well, too. I mean, you don't want to get him too low anyway, and if you play that out there and just don't, attack with it, then you're just making yourself susceptible to losing things from AoE with no benefit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, good choice from Palmblad, getting rid of the freeze. I mean, it's not the best use for the owl, but at least he drew out the mirror entity there.
Oh, very close to lethal actually for Seulsiho right now. Yeah. He's got, let's see, 6 plus 5, 13. Yeah.
And then he can ping once more, so 14 damage.
Yeah.
Palmblad, he just needs to survive a little bit longer, but the spells will start rolling in sometime soon.
It's tempting to just get your minion damage in while you can, because this next turn is going to be the turn you're going to start seeing taunts,
Yes.
So get the minion damage in while you can, and kind of hope you can finish them off with spells. It's usually how this matchup ends up going.
Yeah, I think you could just put down the Sky Golem there to maybe
I agree.
Trade with the Drake afterwards, or even the Piloted Shredder, because you do have other minions on board.
Palmblad's friend. Yeah, we don't really know if it's a relation.
Don't want to assume too many things, but she was here in the past for Palmblad's matches to watch and cheer, so that much I know. I know she's on Palmblad's side at least. Sure. Not like a spy.
All right, he's just going to clear the owl too, it looks like. Yeah.
All right. 7 more damage. So he's just running in. Now there is the Molten plus Defender. Oh, there's a Sunfury Protector too. So you could put Lothab down here to prevent the spells from removing your taunts.
Yep.
Wow.
And Lothab will be...
That is a scary board.
Very scary.
Now, do you start trading though?
Yeah, but I don't think you attack the Piloted Shredder. If he gets a Doomguard, you're in big trouble.
Oh man. Or a Doomsayer rather, yeah.
Doomsayer, yeah.
If he gets a Doomguard, you're in trouble too.
Well, it's annoying, but it's not as bad as a Doomsayer. Anything
but
with
you can't
Doom,
get a Doomguard from there.
Doom is not something you want on the board.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? So ever since, was it Major Domo that you could kill with Bane of Doom and he wouldn't turn into Ragnaros during the solo adventures of Blackrock Mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, so ever since that happened, I've actually found so many more lethals where I Bane of Doom face against my enemies when I'm playing Warlock these days. It's quite interesting. I'm always like, oh man, I had to end the game against players too. Feels good. It's only 2 damage, but... Alright, so he's going to go face. Ooh.
Okay. Alright, Annoyatron.
Okay, but he can't play... I mean, he can play a Snow Chugger on top of that, but yeah, you want to see what you drop out of this? Oh, that actually makes a decent difference, though, because you can put down the Annoyatron plus the Sky Golem. Or you could also ping and then Sky Golem. Depends on what you want.
Pinging doesn't do a ton for you, I guess.
Yeah, I think maybe.
I mean, Shadow Flame is a big concern, though.
Huh. Then, okay, so if you're gonna ping, I guess you just ping face. You just ping face, and then you can try to find lethal next turn with spells.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because if you get that Frostbolt, it's lethal.
Yep.
Palmblad's like, oh no, he's got 3 cards in hand.
Dark Bomb, okay.
Alright, well, he needs to survive 1 more turn.
Yep, and I think he should be able to do it with his Defender Vargas. Yeah, just going to clear something as well, too.
So many taunts.
It's all about the spells, though.
Is it going to be a Frostbolt?
Oh, mad scientist!
We are going to the final set, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, let's see what he gets out of this. Twilight Drake. Oh, man.
Because with Jirax's, you can't get the kill yet, though, because if he uses the fireball to clear out. Well, yeah, okay, so it's not lethal yet for Palmblad.
No,
because he has the Annoyatron. I forgot about that.
The Annoyatron will be properly annoying.
The Anyang robot, the hello robot.
Yeah, smart to save the fireball there as well, too.
Yeah, because you can still get it.
Well, he knows Jiraxis might be coming, you know? Oh, wow. Oh, wait. Shadow Flame. Look at that. Man.
But you got a Jiraxis here, though.
Yeah, being that low, I think it's very dangerous if you don't.
Yeah.
If he Shadow Flames and then Seulsiho draws into a Frostbolt, that is going to be very unfortunate for Palmblad.
Well...
Yeah. Go Jiraxis. There we go. So I was gonna say that's a bit risky, man. That is a bit risky. But yeah, even if he draws into a second fireball now, it's
you're not getting the kill just yet.
Should be pretty over.
Yeah, so I think you just go face. Because you've got what, 11 health between the taunts and only 10 on board.
Yep. So he could do 7 to the face. Obviously, that would set up a kill next turn. Either way, he's pretty much got the kill next turn. You know, I think you try to trade as favorably as you can, because if they get any of their minions through, then that makes Frostbolt, you know, potentially, or a second fireball potentially a kill as well.
Yeah. No, I think that's the right play, because they can't get through it. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, he can't get through it, can he?
Wow, Palmblad fights off the temptation of the Shadow Flame and has secured. Well, wait, no, he can hold off though. He can hold off because he can freeze Jiraxis, and then he can freeze the Twilight Drake, and then he can kill the Sun Fury Protector. Or okay, he's gonna kill the Twilight Drake. Okay.
Yeah.
Because then he can just freeze. Okay, because then he can keep his Frostball and he can just freeze face with Snowchugger. Snowchugger could be MVP right here.
Certainly could. Can trade the 2/2s.
Oh man.
Yeah, you trade.
Oh man.
You gotta kill the minion on the board, obviously.
Yeah, and then if you want to be super safe, you can kill your mad scientist into the defender. Oh my goodness, there's an Anyang robot. It says hello. It says Anyang, Anyang, Anyang.
Yeah, you have to kill the defender too, because another defender of Argus on that defender of Argus could make it a lethal defender of Argus.
That is true. So, okay. Well, I guess, I mean, you can. Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, and then he's gonna use his Frostbolt. Okay. Okay.
All right. Oh man, this is a nail biter. What's the draw gonna be?
Oh no!
Molten Giant. That is not enough. Dr. Boom.
So that's.
Can't save him.
Yeah. So he's got a Shadow Flame.
Yeah, he's got the Shadow Flame.
All right. Well, that means you can't freeze him the next turn.
Oh geez, he's got to draw a Fireball. He's got to draw a Fireball.
No!
Oh, it's the Cogmaster!
The Cogmaster giveth and the Cogmaster taketh away.
I guess so. Well, we are going to the final game now. It's going to be Mage versus Warrior. And, you know, I mean, Mech Mage is great, but it's not the greatest against these two control decks sometimes.
That is, I mean, very well played by Palmblad, really.
Yeah.
Just fighting off some of the temptations for these cards,
Palmblad,
especially at the
end. Stone Cold Killer there.
Yeah. And then he breaks out. He's like, oh.
That was a close call.
Oh, wow.
Going to the last game, though.
Yeah, Control Warrior versus Mech Mage. The matchup is set. We're going down to the wire 3-3. Well, guess what, Doa? You predicted Seulsiho 4-2, but that dream is now over. But my dream of Palmblad 4-3 is still alive.
I'll acknowledge that. I'll acknowledge that. But wasn't it you who said it's really hard to predict numerical scores in Conquest format?
Okay, fair enough,
You can't go back on that now. If Seulsiho still won, or wins, I still win this.
All right, fine. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's down to this one set.
Yep.
And both players, sure, I mean, they say they were like, oh, we're both the same team, and Palmblad joking like, oh, maybe he wants me to win. But when it comes down to one game, you really want to fight for it because you're so close.
Well, Seulsiho wants this so bad. He's worked at it for over a year. Will this be his first big tournament win?
All right, we'll see. Or will he have to just smile on behalf of his team, taking the victory of the tournament? All right, no break, going right into match point of the grand finals.
Here we go. Mage versus Warrior. And anyone who's like me and has played an Arms Warrior in PvP for years and WoW knows that this matchup does not go good for Warrior, but Hearthstone may be a different story here. It's that Cogmaster again.
But you do have the Fiery Warrior. You also have the coin this time for Palmblad.
Keeping the brawl in turn 1. Ooh, and there's Baron Geddon. But the tricky thing with Baron Geddon in this matchup is by the time you get a chance to play him, you're low enough health a lot of times that unless you've gained a lot of armor, he's going to do just as much harm as good.
Okay, whoa, well that's a really solid hand for Seulsiho. Things just lining up to be played.
Fiery War Axe is pretty nice, though.
Yeah, it's going to do the work it needs to. I mean, this is the best hand Palmblad has started with so far. Seulsiho, with his Warrior.
This is a huge problem for Seulsiho.
Yeah, because now, you know, you don't really want to play your Mech Warper anymore because it'll just get cleared, but you have to.
Yep, you have to try to use up the charges. You're going to have the Spider Tank next turn anyway.
Yeah.
And at least this is a way for your minions to do some damage, right?
There's Pro Taskmaster.
These guys are playing pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, whatever, last game, play it like it's ladder, let's go through it.
A Spider Tank is the play here. I mean, it's been a fairly straightforward game so far anyway, so it's not too surprising.
Clear this. Yeah, I think you just clear it.
Oh, you definitely clear it. Yeah, you can't let Mech Mage get any board presence at all. This is a great start for Palmblad.
Yeah, because at this point, Baron Geddon not looking too bad up for turn 7.
Here's where it gets a little bit tricky.
Yeah, how are you
need to draw into something nice here. And execute is that. That's nice. That's real nice.
Oh my gosh. Seulsiho's mechs have just been denied. Not a single attack coming through from the mechs for Seulsiho. And the armor up starting to come in for Palmblad.
Palmblad, the mech slayer. Okay, there's
my gosh.
He's got one scrap. He's got... All right, that's a pretty good turn
Yeah,
for
so
him.
he can finally get that Tank Master. That's a pretty sturdy minion at 4 health.
Yeah, and the big thing is the brawl. You know, when's the brawl going to come through?
Well, there's
wow, shield block. Okay.
All right, well, yeah, you definitely draw.
Well, if you can draw into a shield slam. Okay. You can still armor up.
Okay, yeah. Do you just armor up, or do you freeze something? I guess you just armor up. No point in freezing something this turn. You'll have the Shield Maiden next turn.
Yeah, you want to save that as long as you can.
Ooh, okay, so now things are looking pretty good for Seulsiho. Palmblad used up a lot in the early phases.
You have to, you know?
Yeah, but now it's going to start to hit pretty hard. Oh, there's a Shield Slam.
Yeah.
There's a Brawl, though.
Do you brawl? You can brawl into a Shield Slam, but you can only kill one of those.
Yeah, but...
Oh, boy. And the Pilot Sky Golem's going to make some... This may have been a bit too quick.
Okay.
Yeah,
you just freeze it and then Dr. Boom next turn.
Yeah.
It's actually... It's not the worst, though. It's not the worst.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Yeah, I mean, if the...
Honestly, it's about as good as it could have been.
Yeah. Oh, man.
These guys are playing so fast now.
Yeah, I mean, Seulsiho is like, whatever, gonna go for it.
Yeah. Okay, things looking a bit rough for Palmblad now. Baron Geddon, again, not going to help a ton. He can clear something with the Shield Maiden and the Shield Slam. Shield Madden? That's a football game I would definitely play.
It would be pretty funny to watch. And then you just clear.
Yeah.
I mean, Palmblad's holding on pretty tight. But you already have 3 spare parts and a Fireball with Antonidas in hand.
He doesn't have the invisibility spare part, though. He doesn't have the finicky cloaking field, so he can't do Antonidas this turn.
Well, you could taunt up the Sky Golem or the...
Oh, yeah, of course. You're right.
Or he's just going to kill it. Okay.
Never mind.
I mean, it can still die to like a spell and an execute, but...
Can't die to Shield Slam, though.
Can't die to Shield Slam. This things could go south real fast.
Fire War Axe is not the draw he was looking for.
Oh, man.
I think it's looking pretty good for Seulsiho at this point.
You have 23 damage on board for Seulsiho.
Yep.
That's...
Unless,
oh my god!
Oh boy. Unless there's a second brawl in Palmblad's deck, I think this one is pretty much over.
Palmblad knows it's probably over. I mean, 23 damage, and then he'll still have more fireballs. So you can't actually come back from this unless you get Alexstrasza and Alexstrasza yourself.
Yeah, really. I mean, he needs to draw into Alexstrasza next turn to survive, and even then, it wouldn't keep him alive.
Yeah, you would need to. Well, yeah, you would need to steal the Antonidas after killing the Sky Golem, and Sky Golem can't give anything with good attack. There's just way too much on the line.
Yeah.
But Seulsiho, here's the thing, because he's so close, he's like, do I go all in now? I mean, I don't know. You're gonna get 2 extra fireballs, man.
I think you go.
Okay, well you can give the taunt. Fine. You have 9 mana. Fair enough.
Yeah, you can still fireball twice, of course. Yep. You want to keep that Archmage Antonidas safe. I mean, because 4 fireballs isn't enough, you know.
Oh man.
Wow. Okay. Well, here we go.
What a way
going in.
What a way to possibly finish the match here.
Antonidas coming through for the MVP. And this is it. Unless it's Alex Strasza, it's over. And I'd love to see what he draws.
It's not Alex Strasza.
All right.
Oh, wow, a 5 attack, man. That is game. Oh, boy, yeah, it doesn't even have a spell.
Yep, he's just going to attack the Tall Strider for the...
Seulsiho going to be the winner of the Grand Finals of Hearthstone Masters Korea. He's the current reigning champion now for Hearthstone in Korea, the best player.
It came down to the wire, but in the end, Seulsiho takes it with the Mech Mage, and that is so big for this guy. You know, again,
huge.
Started playing in beta, one of the few kind of early adopters of Hearthstone in the Korean scene, and he has worked so hard to get where he is, started what is now the best team in Korea. I couldn't think of a more deserving person to take the win in our first season here.
Yeah, quite frankly, I think it's a spectacular story. Like you said, started a new team, made that team the best, had 3 players in the top 4, 2 players in the finals, and he himself, the captain, takes the win. Now will be the reigning champion of Hearthstone in Korea. A Palmblad, even, I mean, you could say that, well, you know, it's your first tournament, whatnot, but when you got that close, it feels a little bad.
It's tough, but you know, again, what a great run for Palmblad. I really can't wait to see what this guy brings in future seasons. His deck building, his decision making is really top notch. And I think we really have discovered another top player here in the Korean region.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, and we joked about it, but Seulsiho in the end out Palmblad's Palmblad. He brought the Shaman to throw him off. He brought an aggressive deck of Mage to throw him off, and it worked out. I mean, Palmblad's decks were not prepared, but we will have a quick chat with both players before we wrap up the first season of Hearthstone here in Korea.
Yep. And we'll see what these guys have to say.
Yeah.
What a great finals.
It was a good finals. Going to the full best of 7. How exciting.
Great season we've had here. Actually, it's been really, really impressive. The level that the Korean players have reached here in Korea, and where else would they reach, I suppose. But
and Seulsiho getting a little emotional, being told that he is now the best Hearthstone player in Korea. You can't debate that now because it's on record. He won the major tournament, the first major tournament. And, well, you know, it feels so good to obviously win this tournament. But, you know, having won another tournament, you know, ever since Conquest came to be the trend, and playing, you know, on online tournaments and winning and just continuing that winning streak for myself just means so much. Feels really good. And giving a shout out to his other teammates that didn't make it through the qualifiers, just saying, well, they've helped me practice so much, and I thought that I needed to win to just even make it worth it for them, because they committed so much time to help me. And of course, Seulsiho bringing up Mage and Shaman. And because Palmblad's last 2 decks were Warlock and Warrior, the reason I chose a Shaman first, because I knew that my Mage could win against Warrior. Also, if I kept it to the very last, I thought maybe Palmblad would overthink and think that maybe it's Freeze Mage, so that he might pick into a wrong matchup. Also, I needed to give myself some time to figure out exactly what type of Warlock deck it was, so I went with Shaman, which is a little bit safer.
Makes sense.
Yeah, well, Seulsiho. And, oh man, in the semis, of course, Palmblad opening with that Warrior for a favorable matchup. But and, oh, Seulsiho, I mean, he still had the right thing in mind. He said, well, I I figured he would bring a handlock with the Giants, and so I brought 4 decks that could win against the handlock, but then my warrior failed me in that second setup, and or in that fourth set, and I couldn't get the wins after that because they were all geared to get that last wins against the handlock. But it's good to hear again he kind of has that same strategy always going through. Yeah, but no matter what, I'm still, I'm not exactly upset about the results because still I think the best player in Korea did win. I mean, he said that in the interviews before too. He said, I think Seulsiho is the best player in Korea, and he said, well, the captain of our team, the best player in Korea, he got it deservingly, and also it was just a spectacular chance to be able to stand on this final stage, to stand in front of the crowd here at OGN. Now, your strategy worked out pretty well for you. But when did you kind of think that you were going to win it? And, well, when I won with my Shaman, I think, against the Warrior, because I wasn't really sure about the Warlock. But, again, I always had faith that my mage could win against Warrior. So after winning with the Shaman, I thought I could definitely take the whole match, become the champion. It felt a little bit iffy when he coined out the Fire War Axe. So it was a grind, but I got through it. Well, that's it for the grand finals. What a way to wrap up the entire season, Doa.
No kidding. Yeah, what a great tournament. Again, the Korean region has improved a lot since last year. And we've got that international match coming up in mid-May. So
yeah, May 18th and 19th.
I think we could see Korea put up a bit of a fight. I really do.
Yeah, I think so. It should be very interesting. It's going to be kind of a regional battle of the West versus Korea. See how much Korea has really grown in the first year of Hearthstone. And there's Seulsiho with a smile finally on his face. But congratulations once again to Seulsiho and Palmblad. And Seulsiho, when asked about, well, do you need luck to win? And he's like, well, it matters for sure. Obviously, you need some luck on your side.
Yeah.
So just kind of smiling about that. But congratulations to him again. 150 World Championship points for Seulsiho.
Huge. There's a very good chance we're going to see him at the World Championships now.
And meanwhile, 70 for Palmblad, though. Still a huge earning for someone who entered his first tournament. I mean, if he keeps it up, he's well on his way to the World Championships, possibly, to represent Korea.
Yeah, quite possible.
All right, and both of them, of course, getting a hefty prize pool. And Palmblad, just giving a shout-out to the fans. Any of you here, if you really put the time in, and you put your heart in, any of you could possibly make it to the finals too. Because I'm telling you, for me, it was all just my effort. I don't think I'm necessarily overly talented or anything like that. Put in the time, and because of that, I think any of you could also have a chance. But I'm going to continue that effort, and I'll try to get that title maybe in the next season or as soon as I can. Coming up in the near future. So once again, congratulations to both Seulsiho and Palmblad and Team Godseo, really, the true winner of Hearthstone Masters Korea Season 1. That's going to be it for the global broadcast here. The award ceremony will be going on, but we'll just kind of show you guys, of course, them getting their prizes. Joe and I have to make a quick run.
We got to run.
Yeah, we got some other broadcasts coming up today for OGN. So thank you so much for tuning into Hearthstone Masters Korea Season 1. What'd you think?
I thought it was an awesome season. I can't wait till the next one.
Yeah, it's going to happen very soon. And again, May 18th and 19th, stay tuned for that global event against Orange, Savitz, Strife Crow, and Life Coach, a powerhouse lineup from the West. That's it for us. We'll be back with Hearthstone Masters Korea Season 2 in May.
다음 대회까지 시간이 많이 좀 남은 만큼 휴식도 충분히 취하고 역시 아무래도 저한테 기대하는 것들이 있으실 테니까 새로운 거 많이 연구하도록 하겠습니다.
약간 본인이 약간 이거 좀 내가 이거가 약간 부족했었는데 이런 거만 고치면 다음 시즌 잘할 수 있을 것 같아요. 뭐 이런 거 없나요?
글쎄 운이 좀 더 좋아요.
그렇군요. 네, 그래요. 다음 시즌에 그렇게 될 겁니다. 자, 지금까지 우승과 준우승을 한 세울시호 선수와 팜블라 선수에게 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 그러면 지금부터 하스스톤 마스터즈 코리아 시즌 1 자, 멋진 경기를 보여준 선수들을 위한 시상식을 수행하겠습니다. 네, 위자드 코리아의 전동ging 사무이사님 감사합니다. 다음은 우승 시상입니다. 자, 우승 시상은 위자드 엔터테인먼트 코리아의 김유수 사무이사께서 해주시겠습니다. 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 마스터즈 코리아 시즌은 우승! 세시오 정한세 선수입니다! 네, 우승을 차지한 세시오 정한세 선수에게 선물과 함께 우승상을 1,000만원이 주어집니다. 감사하네요. 위자드 코리아의 김유수 상무이사님 감사합니다. 저희는 잠시 저로 같이 갈까요? 자, 이제 마무리 인사를 드려야 될 시간인데요. 같이 가는 거예요. 네, 한쪽은 보내려고 하고, 자, 이제 가운데 서서 또 이렇게 우승자, 준우승자 사이에 서게 되니까 또 굉장히 영광이네요. 어릴 적 프로게이머 하던 것도 생각이 나고요. 네, 참 많은 것들이 있었던 그런 결승전이었습니다. 저희가 3월 30일 개막전을 시작으로 하스스톤 마스터즈를 시작을 했었는데요. 자, 많은 우여곡절을 겪으면서 또 여러분들이 많이 사랑해주시고 또 이렇게나 많은 팬분들이 현장을 찾아주셨기 때문에 저희가 성황리에 마무리할 수 있었던 것 같습니다. 정말 진심으로 고맙습니다. 많을 것 같은데, 자, 마무리로 한마디 하신 다음에 박태민 해설 어떠셨습니까 이번 시즌?
네, 이번 시즌 이게 새로운 조합으로 또 새롭게 시작을 해서 사실 처음에는 여러 시행착오도 있었고 적응기가 좀 필요했었는데요. 이제 계속 하면서 점점 나아지는 모습 보여줘서 이제 하는 입장에서 굉장히 즐거웠고요. 뭐 중간에 뭐 모바일 버전이랑 검은 파이사 이런 것들도 나오면서 이 준비를 한다기보다는 같이 저도 즐기면서 하스스톤을 할 수 있었고요. 이제 다음 시즌에 더 준비 많이 하고 열심히 노력해서 계속해서 발전할 수 있는 그런 모습을 보여드리도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
이 시즌 하게 돼서 정말 뜻깊었고 기뻤고, 이렇게 많은 분들이 또 열띠게 응원을 해주시는데 그 응원과 사랑이 정말 느껴져서 좋았고, 앞으로 저도 또한 열심히 하도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
네, 자, 하스스톤 마스터즈 코리아, 네, 여기서 끝이 아닙니다. 더 리얼 비기닝, 이제 진짜 시작입니다. 지금 이제 5월 2일이죠? 저희가 바로 시즌2를 5월 25일에 진행합니다. 자, 그리고 예선도 며칠 남지 않았고요. 자, 5월 16일과 17일 오프라인 예선이 있으니까 모든 분들이 이 하스스톤 마스터즈의 주인공이 될 수 있는 자격을 가지고 계신 분들입니다. 과연 또 어떤 도전자가 나와서 이 팜블라 선수처럼 멋진 선수가 나올지 기대가 되고요. 또 5월 18일과 19일 자, 스페셜 매치도 기다리고 있는 거 아시죠? 세계 최고의 고수들과 대한민국 최고수가 기다리고 있습니다.
네, 정말 뭐 많은 분들이 기대를 하고 계실 것 같은데요. 그 경기를 정말 늦게까지 최대한 많은 경기를 보여드리도록 저희가 준비를 하고 있으니까 꼭 놓치지 마시기 바라겠습니다.
네, 하스스톤 마스터즈 코리아 시즌은 이제 성황리에 좀 막을 내려야 될 것 같은데요. 자, 세시오 정한세 선수의 우승으로 마무리됐다는 소식과 함께 여기서 이만 인사드리도록 하겠습니다. 저희는 다음 시즌 더 멋진 모습으로 돌아올 것을 약속드리면서 시즌2에서 뵙겠습니다.